Bam. That's what I'm talking about. All right, boys and girls, welcome back to Texas Racing Channel. So today we are going to be working on the old Suburban again. We're preparing the truck to get its turbos, and so to do what we want to do with the turbos, fit in the truck properly, or the way we want them to fit, is we've got to basically isolate all these accessories and get everything kind of pulled more into the engine closer. So the air conditioner is going to end up on the bottom. All this stuff's going to move over a little bit because we are trying to fit, the turbos are going to mount upwards, so the header kind of like this and go forward, right? And so obviously the air conditioning's in the way, and the same thing for the power steering on the other side. So in order to do that and make it fit properly, we have ordered a bunch of stuff from ICT. I wish they were sponsoring this, but they are not. But maybe in time something will happen. That'll be cool. So anyway, we got a couple different brackets, and as I start taking them out and going apart, going through them, but it looks like everything comes in the kit. There's like two or three different kits. There's like a kit for the power steering. Here it says right here, power steering kit. There's bracket kit for maybe just all the pulleys and idler arms, and then there's a lower mount air conditioning kit. And then we had to buy the tensioner, came with one of them, and then we had to go from the compressor we have on there now to this smaller compressor, which is actually go from a 5-piston to a 7-piston. This is the 7. Even though it's smaller, supposedly it's supposed to do just as well. And the only thing that didn't come in this is the pulley, but they told me I needed a 96-inch pulley. Got on Amazon, ordered that sucker up. We have to put all this stuff on here. And so I'm just going to make a quick video showing you guys how it looks and what happens after it's together. And then hopefully by the end of this, we'll have at least all this stuff in and running. And then I'm going to try and get the headers on to see where they're at before I order the intercooler and the exhaust. Because I got to fabricate all that stuff to make it fit the way I want it to fit.
Well, isn't that special?
But once I get all this pulley stuff taken care of, I'm going to relocate the coils underneath the engine, I believe, and mount them to the oil pan or something, and just get them out of the way. Go ahead and get this belt off and start fabricating and figuring out what else is going to fit. Supposedly, all these things I bought should bolt right up. We know how that goes. So, but I don't know. We'll see. So let me throw a time lapse on here. We'll start ripping the sucker apart and get into it. Off, except for the water pump, because we don't need to take that off from what the directions or what it looks like. I've got power steering pump just kind of hanging off to the side. I haven't disconnected the air conditioning yet because it's full of Freon. I'll get to that later when I get the vacuum hooked up. Got everything cleaned up as much as I care over here. Just blew it with some air. And I got the alternator off sitting over there on the bench. I think I'm going to do the power steering and alternator bracket first because it's on this side. It looks easier. And so here's that kit right here with the directions. It is 551747. It says truck alternator power steering in tight location. And looks like it comes with everything you need. So I'm going to fumble around with this for a few minutes and try and get it in and show you guys what it looks like once it's installed. Right into our first problem. It's nothing too serious, but basically when I put this motor in, I used, I think it's Dirty Dingo motor mounts. So it's hard to see, but when you go to line up these two bolts in the back, this won't rotate clockwise because power steering line that's in the back of the pump is hitting a piece of the motor mount. Nah, it ain't gonna work. So we don't need that piece there. We're just gonna trim it out. This should go in further. And when that goes in further, it'll make these two bolts line up in the front with the spacers. So other than that, it went in super easy, super simple. And if this is just on a regular truck or maybe a different motor mount, it would fit right in. So just a little thing I got to shave off real fast. So, a couple minutes and I'll have it ready to in this, the engine, LS engine builders bracket, and that's this puppy right here. So it looks like that this mounts to the side of the block on the passenger side. That is then that allows you to go to the next one, which is the low mount passenger side tensioning system. So basically this puts all the pulleys and tensioners on there so that when you put the belt on, you can tighten everything down. So we got this guy in and we got everything tightened down and it all lines up real good and spins really well. And it's the way it's supposed to be. So now the next bracket mount goes underneath here. So let's slap that guy in and get a look at it and see how that goes. Okay, so once again, we've run into another little problem, and it's basically the same thing as the side with the power steering pump, is that the motor mount that I put in here to convert it to put the LS in the C10 is sticking out too far, but there's a section just like I cut off on the other side. Basically, this piece goes in like this, but see, it won't go in any further. It ain't gonna work. It's hard to see, but because the motor mount is overhanging right here, right where that bolt is right there. So we're going to cut it right here. And then this piece should slide right in and the bolt goes right here. And there's a bolt that goes underneath it, locks it in place. So once again, nothing to do with ICT's bracket because my motor's already modified. This is just the step I have to take. I just have to cut that extra metal off to make the space. And on any other situation, this would probably bolt right in. So let's just do that. Last time it took me 30 seconds to pop that stuff off. This one here, hopefully I'll do it just the same amount of time. And we'll get this bracket on and show you what it looks like when it's on. See, we got that bracket in. There's a bolt right here and there's a bolt down there, and now I've got that grinded away and whatever. And so what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to have a mounting point for right here for this bracket, and then basically it's going to hold the pulleys. That's going to put everything in place. So let's go ahead and put this one on. So far everything's been super good. Let's toss this guy in. There's one more bracket after this one to put the AC compressor on. So we'll knock this one out, then I'll show you this one installed, then we'll do the AC compressor one, and then we should be able to put the belt on and everything should be lined up the way it's supposed to be. Got that one bracket on, and you can see right here that it mounted to that piece in the back, our tensioner, and then those are just idler pulleys. Everything lines up really good. So the last one is this one here, which will have the air conditioner. Basically, this one bolts to the head. This one bolts with spacers in between it. You can see right here, that one bolts to the head. Then this one goes in with some spacers. Then compressor slides in, a couple spacers. Pretty much figuring out the belt route after that. So let's toss that one in, and so far so good. Well, I got the air conditioner compressor bracketry on. I figured, wow, I got the belt on, everything looks good, so let's just mock up these headers and turbos and see how those look. So get a look. The next video is going to be the complete installation of the turbos. So let's get a look at that, and kabam. That's what I'm talking about. So you can see the belt routed good, air conditioning, everything clears. I'm pretty happy about that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I gotta order a couple more parts for the turbo installation, intercooler, and some stuff like that. And all this stuff's gotta come back off, or all the turbo stuff, exhaust has gotta come back off. And now that I know the exhaust is gonna fit, I can order the exhaust piping and everything. So I'm gonna custom build all that. Anyway, there's the ICT bracketry that I was talking about putting in. And I hope this helps anybody that's trying to put this stuff together, or I hope you guys are just excited to see something happening. And our next video is gonna be the twin turbo installation on the Suburban. And if you guys want to see the headliner and some interior parts installed on the Suburban, click here. And if you want to see us out racing in Mexico, go ahead and click here. And please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you on the next one.